me just introduce our guest for the morning. I have representing the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, distinguished law lecturer, legal practitioner with great experience in his own right. Well, he is a native of the Asen area, and so ideally, if he should be contesting for any of the primaries for the MPP, will be Asen Central. He's a regular on the show. We're happy to have him here. Lawyer Amwakwa Bwedu is joining us this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
It's great to have you here.
Nice meeting you.
Great, great. And then, of course, we have Kofi Adams, who is the Member of Parliament for Boeim. He's also here. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
I see that he's been going through his phone, trying to see whether he can get 1 or 2 points to make sure that he nicks the conversation as we have it. Please share the streets. But let's have some of those letters, because we have the National Association of Graduate Teachers reacting to what the interdictions have been of those various years. So we'll get Angel Kabonu. If we quickly have him, we'll try and quickly do that and have a conversation on that. We'll also show you some of the line items as well. And so if Angel Kabonu is ready, let's get an insight from him. And then we'll also tell you what the conversation is from many of the issues that have been talked about. But let me just okay, so let's get Angel Kabonu and then we'll come back.
I'm a headmaster. Now, I go to school and I work to the rules. I go to school and I work with what is available. If during examination time there are no examination papers, I'll write to my regional director with copies to whichever office, when I'll be waiting. When they bring it, we'll write the exams. And that is what every headmaster or every headmistress should do. I will not take phone and call any parent, because when I call a parent, I'm soliciting for the parent to provide for us, which flies to the face of the rules. Play according to the rules. Work with what is provided. If food is inadequate, right. If there's no money for detergent, wait. Any parent who cannot come and take your child and go home. Work according to the resources that are available.
And so what has been the communication from the concern, if there is, in terms of your own experiences about parents who say that they have to contribute to the education of their wards because they look physically at the situation of the schools and so will have to do that, even though, of course, the directive is that you're not supposed to pay anything?
I think good morning to our viewers and listeners as well. I think the directive is a directive and it must be complied with. I hear certain things like motivation and things like that, and that is bad. That is bad. If my ward is going to school and my ward is the one supposed to be paying for these things, then indirectly you're telling me that there's no free education and you attacked that policy. I think if there are any issues, it must be forwarded to those, probably Ghana Education Service or the Ministry of Education. But you do not come down to the child and then put certain things on a bill for the child to be paid, which means that when you go to each school, there will be something different from the headmaster's point of view. And I don't think that would cause the development of education. And we've done a lot to come to this point, which is our flagship. We've done a lot. There are a lot of benefits to be derived from that, to the extent that my brother's party is not even saying when they come, they will cancel it. You see, so anyone who has something to talk about,
I think the argument is off the table.
Precisely.
It has never been an argument, has it?
I think initially it was. So we've gone past that part. So it is unheard of for any headmaster to engage themselves in authorized collection of money. It borders on criminality. I've been to court where certain headmistress did something like this, and it borders on criminality. And so I think we have to look at it carefully and dispassionately.
All right.
Sure
so we'll put a number of these letters, I think 1 or 2, because we have a number of them now. Because based on what we read to you, we have about 12 or 11 of these heads of the various senior high schools who have been. So if we go up, for example, we have this one of Agrek Nzema Commercial Senior High School. Oh, and it says sale of beds, 500, sale of sports vests, and we don't know what to, checkered dress, so we know the check. We also have charges and payment for manual admissions. We'll go to the next one, and then we'll also get to see. There's a particular one about motivation. Cookie sent it to me as well, and it was quite a bit dramatic. But when you also get to speak to people, they also tell you that it's as serious as it can be because there are a number of issues. So we have the next one. Let's go. This one is Mr. Ampong of the Collins Senior High School, Asante, Achim North Municipality. All right. So this one, for example, Mr. Kofi Adam, this one, for example, says, now, even school crest, we are not able to provide in my school again. Some of the uniforms are similar, and it's only the crest that can differentiate them anymore. Now, students wear anything to school. You can question them about it. They can come to school anytime they want. Even students call gangs from schools if the school is in town. And I asked him which, and this is from Nicholas from Medina. He says West African Secondary School, for example. Oh, okay, senior high school, sorry, Tool School. But at the end of the day, it looks like they are real needs, but they're also directives. What do you make of it, knowing that you're a member of parliament? All of us play in the political space. You get some of these observations and feedback from parents or from the teachers.
Well, let me say good morning to you and good morning to my co-panelists and your viewers, and also my constituents, especially the BM constituency, because they are the people who elected me to represent them, for which reason I sit here as a member of parliament and being introduced as such. The handling of our education has become a problem. Government have heavily put in money at the secondary level, even at the expense of the basic and tertiary level. So we have become like obese, so heavy, so huge in the middle, and with small feet and slim heads to deal with this obese situation. That is exactly how we find ourselves in. But then it is worrying because government is not evenly responding to needs. There are some schools that specifically need certain things and not what is being provided, because they already either have it in the school or have been provided by old students. So they need something else to make their education complete and unique. But now government have decided that, okay, I have collected monies from all of you Ghanaians. This is what I want to do, and not what you think will give you the best of education. Heads who think that, no, I feel for these kids, I feel for their future. We must give them the best because it is possible to give them the best. So let's see what we can add to give them that best which led them to our schools, now are being chased for just wanting to do the best for the kids. You remember the Osu Presby head master then?
The initial
in 2017, where there were no chairs, and all he did was that students have come. They were not going to sit on the floor. For God's sake, they won't sit on the floor. So he engaged parents that, look, we needed chairs. For some, you clearly can see that, well, these are not things that you should worry your head over. That's a fact. Not all of them are justifiable. But for many, they are truly justifiable because government is just failing to meet those needs. Look, food, it gets to a point when it becomes... My daughter is in the school. I won't mention the school.
You mean
she's
a government school?
A government school.
Oh, member of parliament.
Why? Even President Rawlings then, his kids attended government school.
Oh, that Chimota
They
and
were in
Wesley
Achimota
girls.
and Wesley Girls.
But that's not.
But that's a government
That's not the
school.
Achimota and Wesley girls of today.
Oh,
Now
well,
the
it's
populations have increased.
it's because we have destroyed it. It's because we have failed to follow the proper layout agenda of a government that is sensitive to education. That, i.e., let's improve infrastructure. Look, the reason for setting up Get Fund was not for it to become the main source of funding education. It was supposed to be a supplement. Now a supplement has become the main. It's like you are sick of malaria, you are supposed to take the malaria proper drugs and then a supplement to boost your healing process. Now you are no longer even getting the drugs to treat the malaria, you are depending on supplements to treat the malaria. That is where it has gotten to now. Now everything is all about is Get Fund. And even then, they subjected it for some bonds and loans that the money was never invested directly into education. So coming back to my point, my daughter is in a school. I won't mention the school. She's somebody who doesn't like food. And so sometimes, even at home, we complain. We have to push her. But here, my daughter complains of what? Not being fed well, because they are giving something so little, because that's what is available. So if the head decides through maybe PTA or whatever it is to do something to get parents to contribute so that at least your kids will be well fed, you will be dealt with. So some of them, like Angel Kabonu said, now are folding their arms, giving what they can give and leaving it. So your kids return home and they are emaciated. Or you have to be going to the school, visiting the school either every week.
So is that what you've been doing constantly?
That's what we do. We have some persons in Cape Coast who attend to her regularly.
Girls,
No, I didn't mention any
she's
school.
at Cape Coast.
No,
Wesley
I said
Girls.
Cape Coast. There are a lot of schools in Cape Coast.
Like, she has Wesley Girls.
There's Ghana National, there's
No,
Holy
but actually,
Child,
that
there's
was-
Wesley
she had
Girls.
Wesley
So
Girls.
I will not
Have a
respond to
lithium
you.
conversation
I will not
somewhere.
respond to you. So we have some persons there who help regularly. Then we also add up to it. It should not be the case. Truly, it should not be the case. And so it's worrying. So government, that's why many persons are talking about a review in a way to allowing parents who can. And because they don't want a review to allow parents who can to contribute, now heads now have to force virtually everybody in some of the schools to do what they should not be doing. Because if they have allowed a review, some of us will be able to contribute. So through our contribution, those who cannot at all will be taken care of. But government is adamant. And that is why we are where we are.
Okay. So at the end of the day, the conversation is we need to have a review of, but in terms of the funding, but the government also insists that we can. So we'll see how we can come to a certain drawing board on the subject. Because I know the Africa Education Board, they did some analysis based on their own extrapolations of allocations over the period. When you speak to the Minister of Education, he also tell you that at least the minimum universal acceptance rate is 4% of GDP in terms of that investment. But he also says that the other sort of allocations that come within a certain year. So let's say the organizations like a state agency or a state company, GMPC, others within gender, ministry, etc., as well as even those connected with government through civil society or other parastatals who also contribute to education. So if you look at the education budget, then it will go beyond 4%. That's his argument. But we'll see how we are able to come to a certain
Roland,
conclusion.
I'm not on the education committee. But the truth is that what they budget and what they release, at the end of the day, there's a huge variance. The appropriation, the budgets that we approve in Parliament, we've just started doing estimates. And when they come, they will show you the budget, the releases.
All right.
The variance is so huge.
Right. So I have this one from Chris Ashalibocho, who says that just go to the various schools and you'll find headmasters and teachers almost disabled from undertaking initiatives to help wards. And so for schools where parents have people around or visit regularly, you'll find that there are wards in the school that they have to provide for by themselves. And that's coming from Chris from Ashaliboche. We also do have from Anthony Hope, says, in fact, from the beginning of this term, I was given a box of marker which contained 10 pieces. After exhausting it in the 4th week, I went to my head for more, but told me there wasn't any. Now, if parents are in a position to provide this as part of a supplementary means, it doesn't make it bad. Now I teach these young ones by just dictating notes. When we come across a vocabulary where I need to write on the board, it becomes a life and death issue, literally, you're saying.